All right, hello everybody. This is Zaxtor99. Welcome to the live stream tonight. Let me go ahead and get a chat background set up here, guys, for the chat. And I want to go ahead and ask everybody how you doing tonight. How was your weekend? All that good stuff. All right, you guys should be able to see the chat now. Well, all right, on the screen. So tonight we're not going to be playing any games. No gameplay video tonight. With the deadliest shooting in American history happening in the wee hours of the morning this morning, late last night. We're going to be dedicating this live stream tonight to talk about the devastation, those killed, and more importantly, what I want to talk about is us as humans, our reaction to seeing this on the news. How some people are completely out of line with how they react to a national tragedy like this. I welcome those of you in the chat to feel free to speak your opinions. Unless you start personally attacking somebody, myself included, you will not be muted or banned. You're free to go ahead and speak your mind. Just don't personally attack any specific person, and we'll be okay. I want to go ahead and give you guys the freedom to chat your opinions. Keep in mind that the Nightbot will, silence you and erase your comments if you start cursing and spamming the same thing over again, that kind of thing. But no gameplay tonight. Tonight we're going to go ahead and get open and honest about what happened last night in Orlando, Florida, at a gay nightclub where evidently a lot of, I don't know anything about it. I haven't researched it a ton. I've been visiting with my grandmother tonight, so I really haven't had a lot of time to look at this news. I did make a video earlier on this Orlando shooting, and I basically told people to knock off the corny jokes as they're using this matter as, what happened, this tragedy. They're using it as a opportunity to try to say something funny. There's nothing about what happened last night that's funny in any way. Just like even 15 years later this year, there's nothing funny about what happened with 9/11. It saddens me that people take the opportunity to crack a joke when other people and families and parents, sisters, and kids are left in such turmoil and left shattered beyond belief. Snake says, my thoughts go out to all those involved. Absolutely. We're talking about a lot of people. You're talking about 50 dead, 50 confirmed dead. That's going to relate to hundreds or thousands of people that were either related or friends or that knew these people that are no longer with us on this earth. Shonda says, I was watching a live stream that was talking about this and ended up getting really mad. People in there saying all gays should be killed, kill all Americans. Yeah. And that's really one thing I want to go ahead and talk about tonight. I want to be able to get people to be able to chat in this live stream, kind of get that kind of stuff off their chest. I have a couple of things I want to get off my chest as well. This is a time, the thing I think we need to remember, people, with this, like 9/11, like New York City on 9/11, the people of New York City were able to pull together, and the firemen and volunteers pulled together to search through all that rubble on the ground and listen for screaming, looking for life, to try to save as many people as they could. I remember on the day of 9/11 how prayers from all over the world were being focused on anybody that might survive, on finding anybody in that rubble that might still be clinging to life and getting them the help they needed. This is no different. This is a time when people need to be pulling together People need to be praying for those that are left shattered because they've lost somebody that they love. This is not a time when we need to start cracking jokes, cracking gay jokes, or picking on people that have a different sexual preference than we do. For someone to use this as an opportunity to pick on somebody or attack somebody that has a different sexual preference than they do blows my mind. This is the worst kind of reaction. This is the worst kind of empathy. This is the worst kind of person that would use something like what happened last night or early this morning as an opportunity to attack anybody else or to crack a gay joke. It's not the right time. It's not sensitive. It's heartless. And it's flat out ugly. So if you're watching this video, whether you're watching it live with me right now, or whether you'll watching the recording, which I will leave up, I welcome you to put in your comments. You're free to say whatever it is you want to say, unless A, you start attacking gays, B, you start personally attacking somebody in the chat or myself, or 3, if you use what happened last night to attack, get this, and this is already happening, people are using what happened last night to try to attack a political opposition that they disagree with. So I want to go ahead and talk about this, and I just saw this moments ago. I want to go ahead and share part of another YouTube video that was put up today, and I think this is actually worse than the one I found earlier today, where somebody was putting up, a 3-minute video full of like 12 or 15 jokes about the Orlando shooting. Let me go ahead and find it here, guys. The Orlando shooting right here. Hagyrants. A guy with 23,000 subscribers. A guy that's already got 2,600 views on this video of his from earlier this evening. This is a guy that has obviously enough reputation on YouTube and enough power to try to influence other people. Unlike me, who I'll probably only get a handful of views on this video, a handful of viewers in my live stream. Welcome, Andrew, by the way. But I want you guys to watch the first part of this live stream from Hagyrants, the Orlando mass shooting, and my thoughts. Let's take a look and see if we see anything wrong with this video, shall we? The very start of his video. Let's watch it. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now? Hey, Diane. Welcome. No, I actually had my thanks for letting me know, guys. No, I guess I was. You guys haven't heard anything yet that I've said, have you? I've been playing this guy's video, and I've been talking. Let me go ahead and start over again, guys, because let me bring this chat back up. Let me talk for a moment and kind of resurface what I've talked about so far. And when I started this video, I mentioned that I want to go ahead and open up a video. We're not doing any kind of gameplay tonight. This is a video where I'm going to open up the opportunity for my viewers to chat about what happened last night. The deadliest shooting in American history, where 50 confirmed deaths we know about. More could possibly be announced. We know that 53 people were injured. And yeah, I had it muted when I played the intro, so but yeah, I guess I got a lot on my mind, but I've been at my grandmother's house basically saying goodbye to her. She's leaving tomorrow, going back to Texas where she's from. So having to say goodbye to her, not knowing if I'm going to see her again. And then seeing the news about this shooting. earlier today, and then finding videos on YouTube where people are using what happened last night as an opportunity to crack jokes and crack gay jokes and stuff like that. I mean, I'm talking about within 12 hours of the shooting happening, people had videos up on YouTube cracking jokes. Nothing but joke after joke after joke about not just gays, but about the Florida shooting. About the Florida shooting. And then I get home and I'm thinking about, okay, what game am I going to stream tonight? I happen to be looking through YouTube, and this guy has a recommended view for some reason for me to watch, where this guy has talked about the Orlando mass shooting. A guy named hagyrants. This guy has 23,000 subscribers, but the more important thing is he just put this video up a few hours ago, and this guy has, closing in on 3,000 views. So this guy has a lot of influence on the people that are watching his videos. A lot more influence than someone like me, who will probably only have a handful of viewers tonight and maybe a couple of dozen views on my video, even if I leave it up. It saddens me that people with the ability to influence people like this guy here are using what happened, even worse than cracking jokes. He's using what happened last night as a way to attack the political party that he disagrees with. Diane says, hug Zaxy. I hope that you don't let this stress you out too much. Remember, you have people that will listen and help you. I appreciate that, Diane. No, I'm not going to let something like this stress me out too much. I mean, if I'm feeling this and I'm feeling sympathy for people that were shot last night and their families, I can't even imagine what the families and friends of those that were killed last night are feeling right now. Andrew says a semi-celebrity got shot in Florida too a day before, and they were on Voice or something like that. So, if any of you guys saw the video I did earlier today, 7-minute video on the shooting, I basically used my first video there to express my sympathy, my prayers, and my thoughts for those that have lost someone they love or care about, whether it be a friend or a son or a daughter, or an aunt or an uncle, or a nephew or a niece, or a brother or sister, whatever, last night with the shooting. I used a 7-minute video to express my prayers and condolences to those who are shattered tonight. And I called out all those people that are using what happened as a way to make a funny joke, a gay joke, or a joke about the shooting in general. And it saddens me that within 12 hours of the shooting, YouTube videos were already up cracking jokes about the Orlando shooting. And that's why I made that video. So, tonight, I get home from an emotional evening, maybe my last hours with my grandmother, as she is getting up there in age. She's going through dementia, losing her memory. Every time she sees me, even if it's 10 minutes apart, she doesn't remember seeing me 10 minutes before. She's nothing like what she once was, but she's still here with me. And I get home, and this guy is one of my recommended views to watch, probably because of the video I put up earlier. And I watch this guy's video, and this guy is making a video even worse, in my opinion, than the videos I saw earlier cracking jokes on what happened. Total Biscuit just uploaded a video on this one as one of his friends. Good grief. My heart goes out to Total Biscuit for losing one of his friends. There's going to be a lot of people affected by this. 50 people dead. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of people that are devastated tonight because of what happened. I haven't seen Ripper, Diane, so I wouldn't know what to tell you, hon. But I want you guys to watch again the first part of Haggy. I guess that's how you pronounce it, hagyrants. I want you guys again to watch the first part of his video and tell me what you think. Okay, he has his intro starting. It lasts about 10 seconds. This is where he starts his video. I want you guys to listen to the first 30 seconds or so of his video and tell me if you think this guy has any care in the world for those that have lost somebody in Orlando, Florida. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Listen, so everyone's asking me for my opinions on this mass shooting. Apparently, a gun walked into a gay nightclub or some shit and started shooting by itself. Them goddamn guns, man. Guns should be outlawed. They're all bad. You know, oh shit, there's a gun looking at me now. Guns walk down the street all the time and just shoot random people. Well, the problem isn't guns. The problem is liberals and their idiots. Their idiot ideas and liberal logic. Liberals are the dumbest people on earth.
All right. So 30 seconds into his video, no sympathy for those that were killed or their families. No condolences. 30 seconds in the video, this guy is attacking the political party and calling liberals idiots. He believes that all liberals, every single liberal on earth, is an idiot. Yeah, he is definitely talking about the calls for more gun control because of what happened. So, yes, I mean, I can agree that, like he said, guns don't kill people by themselves. Guns are an innocent tool. They're just like a hammer. You know, you can take a hammer and drive a nail into a piece of wood and make it useful. Or you can take a hammer and use it as a weapon and smack somebody in the head and kill them. A gun, like a hammer, is just a tool. It certainly doesn't shoot people by itself. It's the person behind the gun. But my problem with this guy's whole 10-minute video is within 30 seconds, as you heard, he uses what happened to attack the political party that he's against. And I don't care if this guy or you in my live chat are a Republican or a Democrat. It doesn't matter. I don't care about the color of your skin. And I certainly don't care about your sexual preference. To anybody watching this video after it's been recorded, I don't care whether you prefer men and women being bi. I don't care if you prefer women or men. I don't care about the color of your skin. I don't care what your political preference is, who you voted for, or who you're going to vote for. This is a time when what happened last night, America needs to pull together. And this guy here, and people like him, are using the deadliest shooting in America to spread more hate. That's all this guy does. In his 10-minute video, is he uses it to spread more hate, to try to spread his political agenda. Let's go ahead and watch a little bit more, shall we?
Guns don't kill people. Stupid people with guns kill people. And I'm getting into it with people on Twitter talking about there's no need for you to own an assault rifle. Why? If I'm a law-abiding citizen, I should be able to own a goddamn tank if I want to.
Okay, I have a problem with that as well. Why would any human need to own an assault rifle? The real world here, we're not talking, we don't live in a Call of Duty world. Why would a human need to own an assault rifle? Are you going to go bird or deer hunting with an assault rifle? No. What is an assault rifle used for? What primarily, let me ask you there in the chat, guys. You guys can answer me. Let me go ahead and bring up my background here again for the chat. In the chat, I want you guys to answer me. Get a couple answers here. What is an assault rifle primarily used for? How many of you guys have heard somebody taking an assault rifle deer hunting or duck hunting? What is an assault rifle used for? Come on, people. Sad, this guy needs a good smackdown. Kage says I'm more of a libertarian. Probably just for show. Diane says the last assault rifle that I heard being used killed one of my best friends. Assault rifles are owned for show. I would agree with that. But in my life, I've never heard of anybody taking an assault rifle deer hunting with them. I've never heard of somebody going bird hunting with an assault rifle. Assault rifles are used maybe for self-protection, but they're used to kill other people. Does anybody in the chat have a disagreement with that? Assault rifles are used to shoot and kill other people. So why would any of us really need to own an assault rifle unless we were a cop or in the military or had some job that required us to maybe shoot people? Do we really need an assault rifle to protect ourselves in our home? Probably not. Do we really need an assault rifle to go deer hunting or duck hunting? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, Kage. They're nicely intimidating when pointed at an intruder. I can agree with that. But they're extremely deadly, and they're used to take out a lot of people quickly, as we saw last night in Orlando, Florida. An assault rifle shoots a lot of rounds, and it shoots a lot of rounds in a hurry. And they're used to take out a lot of opposition or a lot of other people in a hurry. I don't think, unless you have a job that requires you to be able to take out a lot of people quickly, I personally don't see why we have an assault rifle being held by anybody other than somebody that needs it, like in the military or an officer or something like that. So I disagree with this guy here on that. No, I don't think hagyrants should be walking around with an assault rifle or 2 assault rifles. I mean, in the first minute of his video, he's spreading hate. He hasn't given any sympathy or regard for the families of those that lost somebody last night. And he's upset that, oh, poor little him might have his guns taken away. He's worried about his own little world. He's worried about his guns. And he's also using what happened as a way to spread more hate against liberals or Democrats. So, and I'm not using this video, this live stream, to spread hate against hagyrants. Hagyrants, man, I don't even know who you are, but I love you, man. I mean, you're human, right? So, I'm not here to attack the Republicans. I'm not making a video or using what happened last night to attack either political side. I'm not using this video to crack jokes on gays or spread jokes about what happened. I'm not here to make jokes against hagyrants or anybody else. I'm certainly not going to sit here and attack a political party that I disagree with. So, I think seeing his video when I got home tonight disturbed me even more than the videos I saw earlier that were spreading jokes about the Orlando shooting last night. Go ahead and catch up on the chat. I have used a weapon of that nature to intimidate people, but then I know that what I'm doing what I'm doing with him, the average civilian does not. And if I'm being honest, Zax, the average Republican and the more extreme libertarians tend to be exactly like that guy. Yeah. This guy, I would agree with that, Kage. People that do this kind of thing are usually extreme one way or another. People that use situations like this, or any situation to attack the political party they disagree with, are usually an extremist one way or another. They're Rethuglican. Yeah. Well, again, this video isn't about the political party or who to vote for, or, you know, Clinton versus, you know, it's not about anything political. It's not about being worried that somebody might take my guns away from me. It's not about attacking anybody. What I want to do is I want to talk about how we can pull together as a country and try to stop the hate. And that's really all I'm trying to do with Hagyrants here. I'm sure Hagyrants is a great guy. I'm sure he's a great person. All I want to do is stop the hate. All I want to do is stop videos like this from being made. And when a video like this is being made, to call it out. Because this video, you guys are welcome to go check out Hagyrants in his last video. More than happy if you guys go ahead and check him out. Maybe you like the guy, maybe you subscribe to him. I don't care. But when somebody makes a video that uses a shooting, the deadliest shooting in American history, and just uses that to spread more hate, that's where I have a problem. That's where I draw the line. And I don't have anything against the guy. I'm not in his shoes. I don't know what his thoughts are. I kind of have a feeling that he's really worried about his own little world and his own guns than he is giving a damn about anybody in Florida or anybody that's lost somebody last night. He don't care about that. That's my thoughts. And I know that everybody is selfish to a certain extent. Everybody has their own priorities, their own ways of having fun and pleasure and stuff like that. Everybody's selfish to a degree. But using your 23,000 subscribers and getting over almost 3,000 views in a couple of hours, using that kind of influence on people to spread more hate, I gotta say, I don't like it. Imagine if Hagyrants here had the power of somebody like PewDiePie or somebody with millions of subscribers to spread this kind of hate. How is America supposed to pull together in not just tragedies, what happened last night, any tragedy, whether it be a tornado blowing through Topeka, Kansas and killing hundreds of people, whether it be a tragedy like 9/11 or whether it be a shooting like last night. When people use those opportunities to put what happened in the title of their video and then spread hate, imagine if this guy had 23 million subscribers instead of 23,000 and he uses that opportunity to spread hate. How is America supposed to come together in these times when people like this use such opportunities to spread hate? It truly saddens me. I wouldn't know, Kage, how we get 23,000 subs. Try Mark Dice sometime. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of Mark Dice. I think Mark Dice is an entertaining guy. But again, it doesn't matter how big or small you are. I think that as humans, especially in times of tragedy, we should stop and actually give a damn about those people who have lost somebody, about helping in any way we can those who have lost somebody, even if it's just praying or even if it's just making a video where we feel we're reaching out. I wish I could give every single person that lost somebody last night, I wish I could give them a personal hug. I wish I could shake their hand. I wish I could put my hand on their shoulder and say, I'm sorry. Tell them I can't understand the pain they're going through. And that's the truth. So, with the people in the chat, you're welcome, like I say, to say anything you want. You're welcome to say how you really feel, and I want to open up the lanes for you guys to talk about how you feel in this video. The thing I won't tolerate, however, is personal attacks on anybody else in the chat or myself. I won't tolerate you personally attacking anyone, even Hagyrants here. I mean, I'm not calling the guy an idiot, as he called liberals. I'm not calling the guy any names. I'm simply saying I disagree with what he's doing and how he's using a tragedy to spread hate. And that's exactly what he's doing. If you watch his full video, that's all he does. His whole full video is spread hate and call Democrats a bunch of names. Because honestly, I think he's just scared that they're going to take his guns away. I think that's his motivation. It's a selfish motivation. I understand why the guy likes to have guns. I understand why the guy likes to protect himself. And I don't know the guy. But if I had to vote, I'm sure the guy would never go out and kill anybody with his guns. I'm sure he uses them responsibly. And I don't even know the guy. So I'm not here to spread hate against hagyrants or anybody like that. But when they use a situation like this, a tragedy like this, to spread hate, I am going to put my hand up and say I disagree with what you're doing. So if Hagyrant sees this video, this recorded video, if he's in the live chat with me right now, I just want to say, hey, bud, let's not use what happened as a way to spread hate or to cry about your own personal agenda or your fear of losing your guns. Let's reach out to those people that have actually lost somebody last night. Catching up with the chat. What happened is fairly simple. Person or persons decided to shoot up a nightclub in the name of ISIS. That's exactly what I believe happened, Kage, yes. He did die. He took hostages, from what I understand, from the nightclub. And he got shot by the cops. Now that's another thing Hagyrant says in his video is he says he doesn't even believe. I welcome you guys to go ahead and watch this whole video if you want to. But he says he doesn't even know if he believes the media about what happened. I guess he doesn't believe that a shooting happened last night. I guess he thinks that all the people just dropped dead and dead bodies were all over the nightclub for no reason. Maybe he thinks the media went and shot him so they'd have a story. I don't know. But the guy said he doesn't even believe it at several points in his video. He says he thinks it's a way for the media to control us. Or for the liberals to, spread more laws about gun control. I think that's truly sad. I'm not saying you should believe everything in the media. I know the media is corrupt, and I know they use things to try to get their point across. But in a situation like this, I don't think the media tries to completely make up a story to try to get a law passed against guns or something like that, which is what Hagyrants is leading. They're trying to lead people to believe in his video. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, watch it. I encourage you to watch this full video. Maybe you'll disagree with me. Maybe you'll agree with him. I don't care. I don't know. But I still think the guy is using what happened as a way to spread more hate. You can hear it in the first 30 seconds of his video. The first 30 seconds of his video, he verbally attacks each and every Democrat. And that's one thing, too. I mean, if you're going to talk about politics, how can you have the gall to say that every single person is an idiot either way? No. Disagree with that. People make mistakes and people do things on both sides of the political party that are idiotic. And both sides of the political party have plenty of people that are brilliant, that are good people. And both sides of the political party have bad people. And in a lot of ways, there's, people that probably benefit personally from voting one way or another. And I guess selfishly, that's smart. There's people on both sides of a political party that benefit one way or another by voting the way that they vote. And you can't blame them for that. You can't blame people for trying to do what's best for their family or for themselves. And that's kind of where I stand on that. Kage says the dude's an idiot. I don't know that the guy's an idiot, but I doubt that he's an idiot. I wouldn't agree with that. I'm sure the guy's a smart guy, Kage, but I don't agree with what he's doing in this video. I don't for a second think the media is pulling a false flag. I don't even think this guy believes that the story is BS. I don't even think he personally believes that. I think he's just running his mouth. It's a bit more difficult to buy that it was a single individual. I can understand that. Since none of us were there, we really don't know what happened. We can go by the stories of those that survived, and there's 53 of them evidently that were there. and that survived. So I guess we have to go by that. And from the stories coming in, it was a single shooter. It was the 29-year-old man that went in there with an assault rifle in one hand and a handgun in the other. Is it hard to believe that an assault rifle could kill 50 people in a short period of time? Not at all. That's exactly what assault rifles are made for. Taking out a lot of people in a short period of time. I've already discussed that. Andrew says, well, it's true that the U.S. has the most open gun laws of all civilized countries in the world, and also the most deaths caused by guns in any country in the world. Is there a connection? That's a good point. That's a good point, Andrew. Yeah, I'm not against people having guns, especially for things like, as long as they have it licensed and as long as, it's under their name and they do it legally, I have no problem with people owning guns. Do I think that people should be allowed to carry around assault rifles or own an assault rifle if they don't have some kind of job that requires that? No. I don't think anybody needs an assault rifle. I don't think people need a tank or a cannon in their front yard. I think you're just asking for trouble when you do that. When you arm anybody with an assault rifle, you're asking for trouble. That's my opinion. Kage says, I've been in combat, and there are a handful of trained people in the world that can run that much ammo through a single weapon in a matter of a few minutes. Our crazy patchwork of gun control laws is the actual problem. Yeah, I do believe that gun control needs to be perfected. I do believe that it needs a lot of work. Unfortunately, there's a lot of other targets of interest politically. And to me, it seems like both parties of the political party are much more interested in power and money than they are interested in anything else. I remember George Carlin, one of my favorite comedians ever. I really liked him because not only was he funny, but he said a lot of things that were true. And it's been years since I've watched one of his comedy hours or whatever on HBO. But I still remember how he talked about one time about homeless people. And he's like, we need to quit calling them homeless people or whatever, because they technically have a home, because a home is just an abstract idea. A home could be a forest or a street corner or a hometown. He's like, we should start calling them houselessness, because that's what they are missing, is physical, tangible houses. But the thing that I really remember about him saying that was he was talking about, politics. And he was like talking about anything that goes up for a vote or anything political. Usually it gets voted if there's money for it in the politicians. That's when things get passed. And he was talking about, why has there never been any help for homeless people? Because there's no money in it. He said if you started seeing $1 for every homeless person we got off the streets in a house for the political party, for the president, you'd start to see the streets of America cleaning up pretty damn fast. And he had a lot of there's a very good point there. It is a lot. I mean, a lot of it, so much of it is about money. And that's kind of sad. What's controlled in one place is allowed in another, and it's difficult to clear the black market of those weapons. If they picked up one setup and deal with that directly, then they'll see a lot fewer problems. Yeah, he talked about golf courses as well, how we should give the golf courses to the homeless or something like that. He said like golf was an arrogant sport only used by the wealthy to like slice up America more amongst themselves or whatever, and make shady deals and figure out ways to make more money for themselves, for the rich. He was basically talking about how golf people are rich and they only use golf to make deals behind our backs or whatever and make even more money. And so he's like, I got a better idea. Let's use golf courses for the homeless. Get the homeless off the street and give them a home. And that was pretty funny too. Yeah, I love George Carlin. George Carlin was a very funny guy. He was definitely perverted and used a lot of foul language, but there was so much of what he said that was so right on. And that's what made him so great. Not only was he hilarious, but he was brutally honest about how he felt. And a lot of what he said was right on truth. And that's what made him so great, in my opinion anyway. I know a lot of people loved and missed George Carlin, and I know I was certainly sad the day that he died. So, I mean, I don't even know George Carlin. I remember how sad he was, though. But can you imagine if I'm sad about George Carlin, if you're sad that he's gone now? Again, I go back to the families and the people that are missing somebody that they had last night. 24 hours ago, 28 hours ago, 50 people that were here are now gone, are now dead forever. And all the friends, all the families, the wives, the kids, people are missing somebody horrifically tonight. Somebody that they had just over 24 hours ago. So, with that, if you're watching this video, if you're doing this live stream, and you're watching this video after I've already recorded it, I simply ask that you give prayer, you give thoughts to those people whose hearts are shattered tonight, today. Just like 9/11. 9/11 happened 15 years ago. But people are still missing horrifically those that they lost in 9/11. I'd pray to Saint George of Carlin, but I wouldn't want to presume. Anybody else there that has any thoughts? You want to make them known? Feel free to put them in the chat. Whatever you say will be seen by however many people watch this video over the coming months and years. And this here doesn't matter at all. And I don't know why people think that just because it was a gay club, it somehow matters less than if it was a church. I think people seem to dismiss that these are actual human beings that we've lost. If it was a church house, would it matter any more? Would it be any more devastating if he would have shot 50 people in a church? No. Still 50 people. The massacre on an Orlando gay nightclub early this morning has been described as a domestic terror incident with at least 50 dead and 53 injured, officials said, making it the worst mass shooting in U.S. history and the deadliest terror attack on U.S. soil since the events of 9/11. This is no small deal. This is the worst tragedy that's happened in the U.S. since 9/11. I know I still remember the very day when I first heard the news of 9/11 driving to work that Tuesday morning. I'll never forget it. And I didn't even know anybody that died in 9/11. I didn't know anybody in New York. But I still will never forget seeing those images pop up on the news on my breaks while I worked that day in the call center. I'll never forget how sad I was or how I felt, or going home and turning on the news. I'll never forget calling my father after I heard it on the news while I was driving to work, and calling my dad and telling him, "Oh my God, Dad, you got to turn on the news. You know, New York's been attacked." And my dad didn't believe me. And I remember when my dad turned on the television, my dad dropped the phone. I heard the phone drop. And I think he was just in shock as he watched the images come in on his TV set for several minutes before he was able to pick up the phone and talk to me again. And his words when he was able to talk to me again, were like, his words were kind of cracked and broken. I mean, he wasn't crying or anything like that. It was just more shock. I'll never forget that. And that was 15 years ago this year. And now we have the worst terror attack on U.S. soil since that time of September 11, 2001. ISIS, look at this. ISIS supporters have cheered the massacre online, and an ISIS community referred to the shooter as an ISIS fighter. But there's no evidence that ISIS directed or had prior knowledge of the attack, terrorism observers told the ABC News. So, people that don't like gays, people that have a religious or political stance against gays, are ISIS supporters cheering, seeing people die in a nightclub last night. How heartbreaking is that? How heartbreaking is that? Shonda says, every life is precious and no life should be taken for any reason. Race, sexual preference, size, religious beliefs, there's no reason that life should ever be taken. Absolutely. Absolutely. You nailed it on the head, Shonda. I mean, who is this person who shot all these people in the nightclub? Who is he to make opinions or judgments on other people in such a high fashion as to think that he has the right to go in and kill people because they don't behave or because their sexual preferences are different than his own? We don't have the right to be vigilantes against other humans and take other lives because they believe differently than we do. And I don't care if you're talking about political differences. I don't care if you're talking about religious beliefs or sexual preferences. It doesn't matter. A lot of people would completely disagree with a farmer who has a sexual preference with his own cows and disagree with that. But it doesn't give us the right to go shoot the guy. Can we call authorities? Can we call animal protection authorities? Yes, we can. We can do that, but we can't take a gun and go shoot the guy because he behaves or has a sexual preference or is messed up in the head, whatever the situation is. We don't have the authority to go kill people. Really disturbing to me. Foggy agrees with Shonda. No, Shonda, there's no reason that lives should be lost or taken. Foggy says, but it happened and we need to be paying attention to what is important. Shonda says, yes, I agree. And that's what I'm saying. You guys are agreeing in the chat. You guys are coming together. You guys are having a conversation about a tragedy that happened and you're talking it out. And that's exactly why I wanted to open up this live stream tonight. That's exactly why I wanted you guys here. Because I want everybody that watches this video recording, to hear my words, to hear us come together and hear that with a tragedy like this, we really need to be coming together as a country, as a world. We need to be pulling for those people that have lost somebody last night. And it doesn't matter. Guys, I think what happens is people turn on the news and people are selfish. Like I say, I'm selfish. I mean, everybody is to a certain degree. We turn on the news a lot of times for our own entertainment. And a bad story, a tragedy like this, is in a really bad way. It's entertainment. But when we see that, oh, it was in a gay nightclub and only 50 people died, 50 people is nothing. I want to see thousands die. Then it's worthy of talking about. And sadly, that's how people are. That's how we're trained with the news. We look at an explosion, a car crashes and explodes. And we see that the explosion happened on the other side of the world, oh, it's too far away to care about. But if that car explosion happens and kills 5 people, a mother and her kids in our hometown, oh man, that's hot news. We need to call up everybody we know and let them know. Oh, turn on the news. A mother and her 4 kids just died 4 blocks away. Oh my God, I live closer to the incident than you did. It becomes a way for us to talk about something that is selfishly entertaining to us. And that's how selfish we are as humans. It doesn't matter, people. Last night in that gay club, it doesn't matter that it was a gay or straight club. It doesn't matter that only 50 people died. I don't care if it's 5 people that died. That's 5 human lives. That's 5 families. That's hundreds of friends that are shattered by those 5 lives that were shot in a senseless act by a terrorist. Doesn't matter that it's only 50 people, that it wasn't a bigger attack than 9/11. It's still the biggest tragedy, terror attack on U.S. soil since 9/11. It's 50 families shattered tonight. That's a lot. That's hundreds or thousands of people that are shattered tonight, that don't know where to turn, that hearts are broken. Grief beyond belief. And this is the worst kind of news to get. It's one thing when you have a grandmother like I have, and you can see her losing her memory, and you can see her health going down, and you start expecting her to die. And when it happens, it's really, really sad. But for years you've been expecting it, so you're kind of prepared for it. But what happened last night was people going to a club and having fun with their friends, with their lovers, dancing, drinking, socializing, having a blast. Those friends, those families of those 50 people last night, the last thing in the whole world they expected was to get a call or have an officer show up at their front door and tell them that their daughter or their son or their brother or their sister is now dead. That is the worst news of all. It is the most shocking heartbreak of all. It blows what's going to happen when I lose my last grandparent with my grandmother. It's going to blow that heartache to pieces. When my last grandmother dies, I will have been expecting it for a long time, and it's still going to blow me away. It's going to be unbearable pain, and my heart's going to be shattered. But this, what happened last night to all those people who loved and cared about somebody that died in that gay club last night, all those families, all those friends, all those parents have the worst kind of heartache and the worst kind of pain you can imagine right now. So people disregard what happened as something minor because it was only 50 people. People think it's not news worthy of thinking or caring about because it was only 50 people, or because it was far away from where they live. Well, I'm not losing my temper, Kage. I'm simply expressing my emotion. I'm simply letting people know that what happened last night hurts me. And if it hurts me this point, I don't know anybody that was shot last night. If it hurts me like this, just imagine how much other people are hurting right now that lost somebody last night. No, I don't believe that I'm going overboard. I believe that not enough people care enough. And I'm not talking about anybody here in the chat. I believe that not enough people, as in the person or the people that were making jokes about it on YouTube that I saw earlier today, as in the guy that I showed earlier that used what happened as a way to spread more hate. Sometimes it takes somebody going a little bit overboard to make people think enough to think about what happened, to care enough to show regard for those who have lost somebody. And I'm not getting mad. I'm not losing my temper. It may sound like I'm losing my temper, but I'm not losing my temper. Simply being emotional. Simply saying, hey, you know, I'm not mad at all. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just simply saying that what happened last night was far worse than I think a lot of people give what happened last night credit for. A lot of people say, oh well. I know we can't do anything about it when we live far away, when we don't know anybody. I know it's hard to think that we can do anything about it, but we can. In my opinion, what we can do about something happening last night is realizing ourselves that instead of spreading hate, it's time to reach out. Time to reach out to our neighbor. It's time to reach out to somebody that we don't know, maybe a stranger. There was a world war over the death of one man. And Shonda says, my heart honestly is broken for everyone that was involved. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people do care. I mean, I don't mean to say that people don't care. I'm just saying that selfishly people, they want to hear bigger news. They want to hear that 3,000 people or 3 million people or whatever, they want to hear about something tragically big, or they want to hear about something like that happening close to them before they think it's worthy about talking about. And I disagree with that. And I mean, I'm the same way. I'm as guilty as that as anybody else. You know? I mean, it's the same kind of situation where if I turn on the weather and a tornado is going to hit Indiana, or a tornado has hit Indiana, I turn the TV off because I don't know anybody in Indiana. I don't care about anybody there. I don't have any family there, whatever. You know? So I turn it off. It's not going to affect me personally. It's not going to affect the people that I know and love. But we should still care. You know? Whatever it is. Yeah, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I'm sympathetic. I'm sympathetic. Kage says, I want to hear for the largest part of the ISIS-controlled territory has been turned into a glassy sheet. Am I a horrible person? No, I don't think you're a horrible person, Kage. But I don't necessarily believe either that fighting what happened with more hate or hating people over there is the right answer. If you look at what happened when we attacked Iraq, I don't agree with that either. Because when you talk about turning places into glassy sheets, you're talking about, more often than not, killing 90% innocent civilians. So I can't agree with that personally. Do I think the people responsible, if there's people over there that are responsible for what happened last night, should have to pay? Yeah. With their life? I don't know. I'll leave that to the people that make those decisions. But if they start bombing countries over there based on what happened last night, yeah, I'll have a problem with that. Because I'll know inside that more innocent people, innocent children, will be dying unfairly and unjust. All the innocents would be gone as a result of using that blunt instrument. They'll all be dead. Yeah. Yeah, I don't ever agree with taking innocent lives. I mean, that's why I'm so emotional about what happened last night in the gay club. Just because they're gay doesn't mean they deserved what happened. Just because their sexual preference, just because they were at a gay club, that doesn't mean they deserved what happened. But somebody thought that, and that's why they went in there with an assault rifle. That's why they went killing them all. In my opinion, every life is precious. And nobody should die. No innocent person should die without a damn good reason. Kage says, I worked damn hard to make sure no innocents died on a watch. That's good, man. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And to everybody that may be watching my video or that may wonder, you know, maybe be in my shoes, whatever. Maybe you don't know anybody that died last night in Orlando, Florida. Maybe you don't, you know, and you may be listening to my stream or my video, and you be saying, Zach, I understand you're emotionally torn up about this. Zach, I understand you don't like people spreading hate about what happened or using what happened to spread hate or jokes. And you may be thinking to yourself, I'm certainly not going to use what happened to spread jokes. I'm not going to use what happened to spread my political hatred for the opposite party. And that's great. But there is something else that we can do. There's something else that I can do, that you can do out there, that would be positive. Every action that we make as a human has an effect, and it has a ripple effect. Just like what happened last night in Florida has a ripple effect across the world. You have ISIS supporters cheering. You have people like me grieving. And you have the families of those that are dead, grieving beyond belief. Everything that happens has a ripple effect to some degree. So, what this means is, you can take what happened here, and you can use it as an opportunity to spread hate and more discontent, or you can use it as an opportunity to spread love and care. So if you learn from what happened last night, and you use what happened as a way to go hug, I don't care if it's somebody in your family, go hug your husband, go hug your kids. When you see your neighbors across the street, and you see them trying to put trash in the trash barrel, I don't know, I'm just coming up with random stuff. But when you see your neighbor or somebody across the street, and they're throwing the trash into their trash barrel, and maybe it hits the side, and the trash bag bursts, and trash spreads all over the street, and they start bending it up, especially if like an elderly person or whatever, but it doesn't matter. And you start seeing them have to pick up all the trash themselves while they're trying to go to work, you know, when they're in a hurry. Is it too much to ask that you walk over there and bend over and help them out? Every action we do every day of our lives has a ripple effect, not only in our own lives, but in other people's lives. So even if you take this opportunity to go and help somebody out, help a stranger out that you don't know, give a smile to that frail old overweight lady in the grocery store. Does it really hurt us that much to give them a smile? Maybe you don't know her. Maybe you don't care about her. But while teenagers are rudely calling her fat or calling her slow and breaking her heart behind her, would it really hurt us to give her a wink or a smile or a compliment? You know, everything we do in our lives has a ripple effect. So in the example I said about us walking over and helping our neighbor pick up the trash all over the sidewalk, and we go over and help them out and pick up the trash, and then we wash our hands of it so our hands don't smell like the foul trash that we helped them pick up. I guarantee you that person is going to appreciate it. And it's going to make their day more than likely. And they're going to carry that with them to work. And because of that, they're going to have a better day at work. And the people that they talk to throughout the day, the people that they have interactions with, because of that, are going to have a better day. And it just ripples out. That's what they mean by ripple effect. And the guy that I showed you guys at the start of this video that was using what happened in Orlando, Florida as a way to spread more hate, that also has a ripple effect. It upset me. I watched his video and I became upset. Part of the reason that I was getting as upset as I was, or as emotional as I was, as Kage pointed out, he thought I was upset. I was really just emotional. But it has a ripple effect. We can do something about it, people, even if we live far away. We can do whatever we can to influence the people around us, our families. We can give our kids a hug. We can, an extra hug beyond what we already do. We can be a little bit nicer. We can be a little more understanding or a little bit more compassionate. And those things have a ripple effect. And those little things that we can do every day make this world a better place. The little things that we do every single day can make this world a better place. And even though it may not be something huge, even though it may not be something as big as what we see in the movies where we watch people go in and, save people in a war, or we watch Superman and watch him save lives, even though the little things we do, like helping our neighbor pick up that trash, or, offering the elderly person to help them take out their 3 bags of groceries out to their car, whatever it is, to help out a stranger, those things have a ripple effect. They make the world a better place. And if we all start doing our little part and going one step further to make somebody else's day better, the world becomes a better place. And tragedies like what happened last night become all that more of a eye-opening to those who can make this place a better place. I don't know really what I'm saying. I know I'm kind of blabbering and going on and on. Just kind of blabbering at this point, but I think that a lot of you people will kind of understand what I mean. You don't have to do something directly to help out people in a tragedy like this, but just by doing your own little thing in your own little world, in your own families, in your own communities, can definitely make this world a better place. My chat is kind of silent at the moment. But we'll get back to the games tomorrow night. For any of you guys that tuned into my stream, I mean, I know the first 20 nights in a row, I played some game or another. I'm sure that not all 20 games everybody, was really fond of or enjoyed. But I think that everybody can understand that I decided to go ahead and take a time out tonight to spread my condolences, my cares, my thoughts for those that lost somebody last night in the club in Orlando, Florida. There are no extra hugs. There was a police officer that was spared by a Kevlar helmet. Wow. One officer that was injured. Yeah, could be. Talking about the same officer. Well, with that, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my live stream for tonight. Unless there's anything anybody else wants to go ahead and talk about to get off their minds or get off their head about the Orlando shooting last night. But again, I'll be back tomorrow night with more video game coverage. Definitely going to be getting back into some Zombie Exodus soon. And the Dragon Cancer, Kage. Yeah. Dragon Cancer is a really good game. I played it back when it came out back in January. I enjoyed it. I think I was expecting it to be a little bit better than it was, though it was still really, really good. I think I was just a little bit disappointed in what I thought it would be. But it doesn't take anything away from it. It's a very worthy game. And as you saw, it did make my list of one of the better games this year. But definitely worth a play. Kage. Have an amazing night. Zaxi, I could use a chat someday soon. Got a little on my mind. Nunyan sent me a copy and told me he wanted a complete playthrough. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's definitely got the feels. And when you realize the fact that it's about a true story, The father was inspired by what actually happened with his young son, who was diagnosed with cancer early on. It hits home a little bit harder. Dragon cancer. I think more games like that dragon cancer, and more games that hit home or that tell a story with a point and a reason should be made. Maybe after what we saw last night, maybe less games like Call of Duty, maybe less games where we try to shoot innocent people up should be made, and more games like that dragon cancer should be made. Something to think about. Granted, I don't believe that video games or video game violence, relates directly to people in real life. I think probably well over 99% of the people have the ability to differentiate between a video game or video game violence and the real world. I mean, if you look at cartoons and Saturday morning cartoons and stuff like that, I mean, back since the Roadrunner was made back in the 50s, I think, the 1950s. And you don't get more violent than the Roadrunner. But kids who grew up watching the Roadrunner didn't go out trying to kill people or smash people with rocks or, throw people off cliffs or whatever just because they watched the Roadrunner. I mean, most people have the ability to differentiate between video game violence and real life. There's a big difference between killing somebody in a video game and killing somebody in real life. Nearly anyone over the age of 2 knows the difference. Yeah, for sure. But anybody watching this stream, anybody watching this recording of the stream, feel free to comment down below. Be sure you rate my video. I do read every comment on every video. So, even if it's 3 years after I made the video or 5 years after I made the video, if there's a comment on a video, I always read it. I don't have time to respond to every comment that's made on every video. I do respond to a lot of comments and questions on my videos. I just don't have time to respond to everyone. But I definitely read every single comment on every video. Even if you make a comment on a video that I made 5-6 years ago, I definitely read those comments. Hage says, I broke down the stunts the Coyote did to see how they might be made to work. Most wouldn't have regardless. Yeah. No, it was a cartoon. But they were entertaining. I remember being pretty entertained by the Roadrunner when I was a kid. I've never done anything violent like that to anybody in real life. And I don't think you get much more violent than having a big boulder, thrown on your head, and some of the things that Wile E. Coyote tried to do to the Roadrunner. I don't think you can get much more violent than that. Granted, nowadays we have a lot more blood and gore, even in cartoons, than we ever had back then. But the sheer violence level of the Roadrunner, hard to get much more violent than that. And those were cartoons made 60, 70 years ago. Yep. So, if I ask you guys, whoever's watching this, whether you're watching the live stream now or whether you're watching the, a recording of this, I ask you guys one favor. Hi, Sky. Welcome to stream. I ask each and every one of you one favor, not just the people watching my live stream right now, but to anybody watching this recording, hearing my voice right now, whether it be a recorded video or whatever. I ask each and every one of you one favor. I ask each and every one of you to go out and do something nice, do something friendly for a complete stranger. The next day or two, there'll be an opportunity for you to do something nice for a complete stranger. Maybe you're in the supermarket, like I say, you see an old lady, then teenage kids behind her being rude, making rude comments. Say something nice to her. Whatever it is. Maybe it's just complimenting somebody. Maybe it's just complimenting that bagger at the grocery store. Hey, you're doing a good job. People like to hear that. Whatever it is, do something nice for somebody. For a complete stranger. Sure, give your family and your kids and your parents, whatever. Give them an extra hug today. But do something nice for somebody that's a complete stranger. Help spread love. don't spread hate. Don't use something that happened last night as an opportunity to spread more hate, to attack somebody that you disagree with. Instead, use what happened last night as an opportunity for us to stand together, for us to unite as a country, as a world, and spread more love, spread more care, and stop spreading hate. Don't you think we have enough hate in the world as it is? You really think we need to spread more? Step it up. Do something nice for somebody you don't know. All right, with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. You guys all have a great night, a great day. Thanks for watching my stream. It'll be up for you guys that want to watch it that maybe missed it. Guy, welcome to the stream. And we're going to go ahead and end it with that, you guys. We'll be back to playing video games tomorrow night. You guys have a great Monday. And again, one more time, to all those who lost somebody last night in Orlando, Florida, my deepest sympathies, my deepest regards, my prayers go out to you. And may you somehow, some way, be able to pick up the shattered parts of your soul and your heart and move on and heal. Take care, everybody. Do something nice for somebody. See you guys tomorrow night.